Hello, everyone, and welcome to Limitless Gaming Esports coverage of Limitless Formula Racing, the Tuesday Limitless 2 edition. I am Kem, and I will be your, I guess I'll call it play-by-play commentator for today. If you have not checked out the stream that happened yesterday, unfortunately, we were not able to go live with the Monday Limitless 1 stream yesterday. So the qualifying and the 5-lap sprint qualifier, that was live, but the actual race wasn't able to be live because YouTube was down at the time. So if you are unaware that there was a race yesterday, there was, and the stream has been posted. So you can go and check that out, and also leave a like for that video as well. Leave a like for this video as well, or this stream. And also, if you have not subscribed to the channel already, please do. That would help us out very much. And at this time, I would like to introduce my co-commentator for today. As usual on Tuesdays, it is Mr. Big Weir. How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm all good. I'm excited. I'm getting really into Tuesdays. I'm getting really into Tuesdays. It's the midfield's quite a fun battle, and there's a lot of good racing tends to go on today. So, obviously we're on a different track than what we anticipated. We bend off Russia given the circumstances. We've decided to come to Australia instead. A lot warmer in Australia, so it's a bit of a win-win for us. I suppose what we should say, Cam, is give a shout out to one of the drivers. Anyone who's watched this for a couple of weeks now, we've probably seen Yo-Yo, one of the Ferrari drivers. Yo-Yo's unfortunately had to step away from the league. He's currently involved in the whole drama and situation in Ukraine at the moment. So he's had to step away from that. So we just want to give him a big shout out and hope that he's keeping okay. Yep. You'll find today, guys, that a lot of the drivers will be likely wearing yellow and blue helmets, and kind of in respect to Yo-Yo's family and the whole situation in general, I suppose. So we wish him all the best and hope he's keeping safe wherever he is. But yeah, so we're here in Australia. It's a funky little track. It's a difficult little track. We don't typically do Australia, so it's gonna be an interesting one, I think.
Yep. And we actually did one of the preseason races. I think for Limitless 2, we actually did a preseason race, but it was kind of a mixed up grid. There were quite a few reserves, and there were some Limitless 1 drivers that drove for that race as well. Were you one of them that drove in the preseason at this track?
I think so. I can't remember how it went, to be honest. There's been so much happened since, but I think so. It's quite a difficult track. I'm glad to see it's not raining, because like I said, it's quite a difficult track. If it's wet, it's only going to be much worse. Too, but like I said, I'm glad for a bit of change, something different to what we normally see. But yeah, I'm just glad it's not raining, I suppose, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've jinxed it already, Cam. Jinxed it already. So just on an update, some rain in the race potentially.
Oh.
Is it? No, like I say, we run the approximate weather forecast, so no one can ever be certain. But there's potential. I don't know what the percentages are, but there is definitely potential for a little bit of rain at some point. So I had to say it.
And this will actually be interesting as why? Hold on. Oh, there we go. Jeez. That took a long time for me to be able to change the camera type while Addix was coming out of the pits. It was after like...
funny drama.
it was like halfway after turn 2 that it finally let me go.
Well, I mean, we got there in the end. A bit of a delay, but yeah. Yep. At least you got there.
Yep. And it's going to be interesting because now there may be potential tire strategies for this qualifying session, so maybe a lot more mediums than usual.
Yeah, I mean, if that rain's going to come reasonably early, it mightn't be a bad shout to consider starting on mediums, and then you won't have to do 2 stops essentially. still a lot of guys on the softs, but it's actually most of the guys in the pit lane that have gone for the soft tyres at the minute, so I'm expecting that to change. I think Lewis and Addix, if I'm right, and T&E Matty are the only guys in the softs who are on their outlaps at the moment.
Yep.
Addix is boxed, interests me,
Yeah, he's
from his
boxed.
outlap. I'm not sure if he
That's
made a
interesting.
bit of a mistake, but or if he's going to change his mind, but I suppose we'll keep an eye on that.
So I'm currently riding on board with Warren7878, who is a reserve for the AlphaTauri team today, and he will be the first one to set as he's going into the pits as well. What is happening?
Interesting, yeah, so what's going on? I've just got a bit more of an update in the rain. Apparently it's possible rain at the end of the race. Is what it's saying. So it could be one of those ones where it might be better to stay on the dries. It might be better to pit maybe some different strategies. I'm not sure, but Lewis. So I've just Warren's retired in the pits.
Oh yeah, he's serving a quali ban. That's why.
That makes sense. Lewis is the first one I think I've seen to actually start his flying lap. He's committing to the soft tyres. I think if the rain's at the end of the race, it kind of makes sense. You know, if you've got a bit of leeway with, I suppose, the tyres. I don't think the mediums are going to last the whole race.
So I'm currently riding on board with King's Home. You were saying that I think Lewis is just ahead, or sorry, King's Home is just ahead of Lewis. So
correct.
It will be King's Home that's going to be setting the first time, albeit as long as he does not invalidate, which he seems to be doing a good job as it is right now.
Coming around the last few corners now, it needs to be neat and tidy. He's going for a medium run, so it has to be pretty much perfect. To counterbalance the benefit of the softs. Decent exit onto the final start finish straight. DRS open and crosses the line at 123.
123.948, and Lewis with a 122.103. So a second and 8/10 faster.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be good enough for King's Home. He's going to have to give it a bit more welly than that on his. Same with Carl Wiedeberg. He's done a 123.4. It's still, I think the benefit of the softs is quite significant. I'll be expecting most of those guys to jump onto the mediums. But you were talking earlier, Ken. We did a pre-season race here. I've just had we've had retirement from Matty. I think he's lost out of the first or second corner there. It looks like. And he's into the wall. Matty, I think you're in the comments. Let us know what happened, bud. Give us a mic. But no, I've just had a flashback. I was on board with Lewis, and he had a moment on his flying lap. It's that chicane just before the second DRS straight. It can spit you out something fierce. I'm expecting plenty of drama there. I asked Matty for an update. He's straight into the comments. He's just said, balls! Thanks, Matty. Back to you, Jeff. He lost it in turn 1 or 2 anyway. I'm not sure. He's maybe just let up the rears or caught the curb. It's very easy done, to say the least. But unfortunately, that means he'll not be able to put a lap in.
Yep. We'll see who is on a lap right now. There's a Ferrari, a McLaren, as King's Home has retired as well. And yep, he crashed. Yep.
Anyone coming up, maybe we'll get a look-see. I think BKS is pitting. One of the McLaren just coming down to start finish straight.
Yep. So I'm currently riding on board with Fibble Boy of the McLaren team, and we'll see if we can catch. Where does that King's Home? Yep, just on the right side there. He just disappeared.
Looks like he's hit the wall and rolled back. Maybe, I don't know. It was kind of a bit of an odd one.
Yeah.
Matty's giving me more info. So he went deep into turn 1 and then on the power purely through turn 2. So lit up the rears and lost the back end. Very easy done, but unfortunately that's the end of his qualifying. King's Home's going to have to hope that medium lap was enough. He managed to get that 1 lap time in, but there was definitely room for improvement on it. He'd be frustrated with that because his rival, Dark Stomper, he needs to start clawing those points back because Brandon starting to look like he's running away with this championship a bit. Comfortably at the minute. I think he's over 2 races. Oh, little boy just invalidated at this scene. But Brandon's starting to make this look comfortable. I think comes 2 race wins in the lead at the moment. But still early days. Still early days. We're not even at the halfway point yet. So maybe with some late drama in the season, it could all change.
So I was just riding on board with H. Bosworth, and he moved himself up into 5th with a 1:23.538. Just behind him is his teammate, Iggy Combo, but he's on an outlap. Thibble Boy has invalidated. Ricey Boy is on an outlap. Dark Stomper is on an outlap. So it should be... Oh, Boosted is actually on a flying lap right now, so I will ride... Oh, and he has invalidated. Taylor McKenzie has invalidated.
The Team Mercedes, although they're not in a bad position to be fair, but I suppose there's still a lot of people still to do their laps. It does look Flea's actually retired as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he crashed out. It was before King's home.
It's both the Red Bulls. I don't know how I completely missed that one, but there's another one gone. Iggy's look. Oh, my mic's cut now. Iggy looked like he struggled a bit on his outlap there, but he's starting his flyer now. Just went break a bit deep into the second to last corner there. But we'll see what he can do. He's been performing quite consistent the last couple of weeks, but and he's lost it in the first turn. He managed to hold it though.
These curves are really catching people out today.
Yeah, like I say, it's a track we don't really race often, so I'm expecting quite a well, we've got a couple of people to get caught out in the curves, I suppose, is what I'm trying to say.
So, currently riding on board with Thibble Boy as he moves himself up into 5th position with a 1:23.510. There was...
He's out of fuel. No, is he out of fuel?
Thibble Boy?
I think he's just slowing up. No, he's slowing up. I thought just the way he was coming, I seen the yellow flags, I thought he ran out of fuel, but no, he's still going. Alright,
so we'll see. There is... So that's Carl Wiedeberg. He is just coming up to the start-finish. Dark Stomper, I believe he's on the lap, but Ricey Boy has just set a purple sector 1, so I will stay on board with the Haas driver who has not set a time as yet, and he is currently on the medium compound tires, so we'll see what it is he can do.
Looks like a purple sector 1 to me. I just jumped on board with him. He's purple sector 1 and on those medium tires. As long as you can keep it on track, I'm expecting a fairly decent time from Brandon. Anyone who's been watching for the last couple of weeks, purple sector 2 knows how quick he is.
Yep. Just
a bit of a squeaky bum time out there. That's not what he want. Not comfortable. Probably butcher his lap. I see he's already put a lap in that was a little bit off the pace. I'm assuming something similar happened. I'm assuming he's going to dive into the pits, and he does. One driver I haven't actually spoken about yet, and I think we've neglected him because he's put a pretty decent lap time in there. Ryan Van Doon put a 1:22.5 in. As I said, he's just been knocked down.
Alex hits him.
Straight in the Haas driver just pitched in there for a 1:22.3, but those two guys putting in pretty good laps early in the session. I'd be expecting I'd be expecting it to...
and here comes Carl Wiedeberg, and Carl Wiedeberg, I just caught him.
Stonky lap, absolutely filthy lap. Definitely, like I say, I was talking to him at my grid walk before the race came, and the first couple of races he had a couple of rough ones. I remember Barry, and he was having a great run, but I think he pit for the hard tyres and spun out and crashed after a safety car. But he's really been making up for it for the last couple of weeks. He's been putting in some great results. Has started climbing the table really well. So, one to watch, like I say, one to watch. Iggy Combo, I think that was, come across the line there. 1:23.3. Still some time there to gain, but he was on old tyres. And he is out of fuel, it looks like.
so let's see. Ricey Boy is into the pits. Taylor McKenzie is currently on an outlap, and he's just about to start a flying lap. But we'll see. Addix has invalidated. Carl Wiedeberg is down on his time. H. Bosworth is on an outlap. Boosted is on an outlap. Iggy Combo is going slow. So we will ride on board with Taylor McKenzie. As he is currently in 11th place, he has set a 1:24.102 as his fastest time so far. So we will see. And he is almost 7/10. He's cut out of his time so far.
What time he's going to be needing, to be fair. If he's looking in and around a 1:23 at the minute, he's probably still more time to gain throughout the lap. So we'll keep an eye on his time at the end of Sector 2. Been pretty clean so far.
Yep.
He comes to the end of Sector 2, he's 8/10 up.
Purple Sector 2 for Taylor McKenzie. Ooh, and he didn't invalidate that.
He cut that just nicely. This could be a bit of a... This could be a very respectable lap. I'm thinking maybe around the top 5 at the minute. Unless there's a moment here at the end, but...
Knock on something. Anything.
Yeah.
So, penultimate turn and final turn for Taylor McKenzie, and it is power down for the Mercedes driver. We will see.
It was clean. It was clean.
P4 for Taylor McKenzie with a 1:22.374.
Just straight across the grass there. I think he's almost out of fuel. I'm looking at his fuel indicator. I think he's doing everything he can to save the fuel. But that red indicator is definitely lighting up.
Ooh, and I'm on board with H. Bosworth. He has cut 8/10 out of his best time. So he is just coming up to the start. Finish straight.
Top 5 maybe? Is it top 5 maybe?
Let's see. Yep.
Oh yes. Look at the gap between those three. Addix, H. Bosworth and Taylor all within the same... Whoa, look at the gap between him and Addix. Even matter. It's one thousandth of a second.
Wow.
I can't even blink that fast, man. That's crazy.
That was a good time by the Alfa Romeo driver of H. Bosworth with a 1:22.322 to put himself in 4th.
One driver that hasn't, and we were expecting him to go higher a lot earlier. Dark Stomper's on a flyer lap now. He's in the last sector, and I just got a glimpse of his split time through Sector 2. He's 1.2 seconds up on his time at the minute.
And it was purple as well for Sector 2.
So, if he can behave himself through this last sector, can he put himself up top?
Yep, let's see. And yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a time. Let us see. Yep, pole position provisional for Dark Stomper with a 1:21.226.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's where it is. So Brandon once again flexing hard. The guys behind are going to have to find a lot of time. I think Carl Wiedeberg probably the best shout at the minute. Lewis is on his out lap. He's going to have to find 9/10 to somehow to pit Dark Stomper. But yeah, once again he's flexing hard.
Yep. Pretty much 6/10 clear of the next fastest person. So is there anyone on a lap, I believe?
Line, is it?
But I think he's out lap, yeah. Or may have made a mistake, not sure. But I'll ride on board with Ricey Boy, who is currently in 12th position, and he has cut 4/10 out of his best time. So without any mistakes, as we have just under 2 minutes left in this qualifying session.
Oh, he's involved there.
Yep.
He needs to back off, and he hasn't got time to go in for another one. He needs to back off and try and save some of that ERS for a second run. And he's off into the gravel at the minute, just at the exit. Likely very frustrated with that lap, but Lewis is coming through though.
Yep. Currently riding on board with Lewis F1 of the McLaren team, and this time looks like it's going to be pretty good as well. So we'll see as he heads to the start-finish line and moves up to second place with a 1:21.761.
He's pipped Carl Wiedeberg, but Carl Wiedeberg is deciding. Well, he's on his out lap, and he's going to have a go and see if he can find that time that Dark Stomper has. It's going to be one heck of a run to say the least. But he's pit. Carl Wiedeberg is pit. Interestingly, I don't know what or why, because I don't think he's got time to go around again. I think he'd probably retire realistically, but he must be happy with his P3 at the minute anyway.
So Thibble Boy of the McLaren team jumps from 10th to 4th with a 1:21.980. Good lap by the McLaren driver. I just saw someone with a purple sector too. That is Iggy.
Go on, Iggy. Give me proud, son.
Let's see.
He's getting a tow from his teammate, I think.
Potentially a bit of a tow. So currently riding on board with Iggy.
Car. Come on, our fella. Keep her lit. Come on. Get yourself up there. You're peanut at the minute. It's not a bad time, but I know you've got more in you. Come on.
Currently riding on board with Iggy. Where will he go to? So jumps.
It's an improvement.
Yep. 8/10 of an improvement.
Position. Ryan Van Doom, though, he put that lap in early. He's going out again now. One to watch, I suppose. I'm expecting a big jump there if he manages to keep it clean.
Ricey Boy. So Ricey Boy took 1.7 seconds out of his best time to jump to 7th with a 1:22.351. There is a Ferrari that's coming to the line. That's BKS. Jumps to 5th with a 1:22.119. So drivers are jumping up the standings.
Expecting a bit of a drop and change here at the minute. I suppose I think the top 3 might have cemented themselves in. Dibble Boy, the only real one who could contest that, but he's on his in lap. Alex, maybe? Where's Alex? He's invalidated. He's not going to do anything. H. Bosworth's invalidated.
Yeah.
Taylor's P9.
Iggy's
down. I think we've cemented. Ryan Van Doom's invalidated. I think we've got our grid.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think Iggy is somewhat backing off a bit on this lap. Yep, and he's going into the pits.
A bit of a shake-up on the grid, to be fair. Kingsholm rightly out of position. He's going to have to try and fight his way through the field. On a track that is traditionally very difficult to overtake. Dark Stomper will be happy with his time. He's once again head and shoulders above the rest. He's a sweaty boy, Ken. He's a very sweaty boy. He's
quite
up there.
fast.
Lewis has done himself proud there too with that P2 time, and Carl Wiedeberg as well. Those top, P2 to P5 kind of in a close knit fight with each other, and then P6 till P6 right down to P11 is next to
close.
Really.
Yeah, very close.
Very, very close fought battle there. And then the rest of the guys either retired. Boosted just couldn't hook himself up with the lap there. But has always managed to sneak his way into the points. He always seems to qualify down in and around that 11 to 15, and then just sneaks his way into the points throughout the race as well. But there's our grid.
Yep. So I will go down the starting grid for this race. It is Dark Stomper of the Alpine team in first position. It is Lewis F1 in second, Carl Wiedeberg in third, Thibble Boy in fourth, BKS 93 in fifth, Addix in sixth, H. Bosworth in seventh, Ricey Boy in eighth, Taylor McKenzie in ninth, Iggy Cumbo in 10th, Ryan Van Doom in 11th, King's Home in 12th, Boosted in 13th, and Flea in 14th with no time set. Warren, who did serve a quali ban, also no time, starting in 15th, and then TNE Matty G, I believe, crashed out during quali, starting in 16th. And that is our starting grid for this race.
Red Bull's got a lot of work to do, and McLaren's have done well for themselves for the constructors. I'm just going to get the standings up, because I can't actually remember who's where in the standings. I think McLaren's the closest to taking the fight to Alpine. Dark Stomper's been fairly carrying that team for most of the season. He's got himself a new teammate though, who can hopefully help him out. Name escapes me though. I think it's Liam S. Is Liam here today?
No, he hasn't been here for a couple of weeks actually.
Liam needs to come back and help his teammate out. Brandon's been absolutely carrying that team at the minute. Of course, he had a different teammate at the start of the season. Name escapes me again, but they left. And Liam's come in to replace him, but I think he's had other commitments that have prevented him. But yeah, so the McLarens are going to want to try and claw that gap back to the Alpines today. I think it's about in and around 40 points, so they need every point they can get at the minute.
Yeah, this constructor standings for Tuesday, it's
tight,
crazy.
it's tight. So I suppose we should have went into more detail. There's 3 points between 3 teams. So Williams, Ferrari, and Red Bull all on 103, 102, and 100 respectively.
Yeah.
Red Bull hasn't done themselves any favours today, so they're going to have to do some work to get through the grid and into the points. Ferrari, BKS, the only Ferrari driver here today, he's been scoring consistent points. And the Williams, like I say, Carl Wiedeberg's been putting in some stonking performances this last couple of weeks, and he's doing bits, I suppose, to say the least, as well.
Yep, so let us see. So the top 10 are starting on the soft tires. You have Ryan Van Doom in 11th of the Aston Martin team, starting on the hards. And then you have Kingsholm and Boosted 12th and 13th respectively, starting on the mediums. And then Flea, who's in 14th on the hards. And then the final 2 runners of Warren and Matty G starting on the softs. So
I'm surprised at that hard tyre strategy. Them guys obviously wanting to go long, but like I said, we don't race here often, but I vaguely remember it being a soft-medium strategy was the optimal. So the hard tyre is going to be very slow, but of course they will last so much longer than the rest of the guys. I suppose they're counting on maybe going the whole way to the rain, maybe? I guess it could be a shout.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So it's one of those calls where do you think... Because, okay, we're going to just most likely assume, I believe that there's going to be safety cars that are going to happen. Just because of the way the way the circuit is, the curbs, there will probably, I'm assuming there's going to be people that may be caught out. There could potentially be safety cars. Even if you are on the hard tires, you may not have to pit and just take track position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's even from that, like I said, it all depends when this rain decides to come.
Yeah.
A lot of people saying it's near the end of the race. We've had a couple of races, Ken, where it's come right at the end, and no one's ever really bothered with the wet tire. In fact, you gambled on the wets a couple of weeks ago, I believe. Didn't pay off, but
Nope.
you know, it's a hard call to make. You know, you could have done that and been an absolute hero, but it just didn't pay off in that scenario.
Yeah. So we are ready for this race to commence in Australia as we have 3, 4, and 5 red lights. And away we go, and we will see who gets a good jump. Taylor McKenzie and Kingsholm, it seems, have gotten good starts.
All looks really clean through turn 1 so far. Oh, we've got an Alfa Romeo around. I think it's Iggy. Damage is massive collision early in the race.
And
wow!
Safety car.
That's got to be a full safety car. Absolutely massive collision into turn 1. I think there's about 10 cars involved in that. I'll be very surprised if that doesn't go full safety car, to be honest. I'm not even sure what happened. It was also good through turn 1, but it was turn 2 seemed to catch most of the guys out. A lot of people without wings at the minute. Both Alfa Romeos, I believe, got caught up in that as well. I'm looking. Damage to both. Yeah, both. Well, Iggy might be fine.
Yeah, I'm not sure about H. Bosworth and Iggy, although they may have like very minor damage that cannot be seen objectively. The right end plate of Boosted's front wing is gone. Warren seems fine.
I did see, like I said, there was cars facing sideways, cars going backwards. Turn 1 here, traditionally quite difficult, but the virtual safety car is now ended.
Yep.
So all those guys pitting. Iggy's actually overtaken H. Bosworth. I think Iggy might be okay, you know.
Yeah.
He looks like he's going to try and race on.
And
Boy's retired.
Boy. Did he crash out?
Trying to get a camera angle on it.
Yeah.
He's crashed out in the last corner on the start finish.
Yeah. And that's a weird place. How?
Kingshome's pit. Both Red Bulls have pit.
Oh, wow.
I've got to look at these position changes, man. This is a bit... I don't even know who's where anymore.
Well, Matty G has made up 10 positions already.
Oh, Matty's done bits. Matty's done absolute bits. I know Matty's probably watching the stream. He likes to listen while he drives, but he's done bits. That's done massive favour. Massively made up for the qualifying. And he's on the soft compounded tyres, so he's back running with his crew, shall I say.
Yep, so Matty G has done a very good job so far in the first 2 laps of this race, as well as Warren has made up 7 positions as well.
Yeah, Fibble Boy, he's unfortunately cost himself quite a bit with that early exit to the Grand Prix. Flea, even with the incident though, like he still made a position, so I suppose it's a bonus in that respect. But you didn't see what tyres they've gone on to. Like I say, it's just so much going on, Ken. I'm a little bit flustered, Ken. I'm a bit flustered.
Yeah. Trying to see it, but I'm riding as Dark Stomper sets the fastest lap of the race with a 1:24.848. I am riding on board with Flea as DRS is now enabled. Flea is following very closely to Ryan Van Doom and looking to make this overtake. They're side by side, and Ryan Van Doom seems to have gone a bit wide, but has kept it in there and stayed ahead of Flea in the Red Bull.
Very, very difficult track to overtake here, like we said earlier, so track position is vital. Flea's going to want to get that move done as soon as possible. I suppose his best opportunity might actually be into turn 1. As Ryan gets a bit of a tank slapper there just up the exit of attacking the last corner.
Yep, so we'll see, as there is no DRS for these cars now, although now that they're starting lap 3, they will have DRS, and you can see... Ooh, H. Bosworth!
No, don't do this to me, please.
And BKS is out as well. Yes, BKS. And we are under virtual safety car conditions.
I think he's got caught out of that chicane I was talking about in qualifying. Yeah, looks like it. I'm on board with Warren at the minute. He's driving past. It looks like he's got caught out of that the exit of that corner. It is so hairy. Very, very, very hairy. I can't believe there hasn't been a full safety car. We've had 2 cars spinning off in the space of 1 lap. H. Bosworth, I think he should count himself very lucky there. A lot of people's crashed out there and made big errors. Fatal errors, I suppose I should call them.
Yep.
But he's got lucky this time. I think I seen a 5-second penalty there for addicts, was it?
Yep.
Pit lane.
So that's unfortunate.
The hard.
Might not be a bad call, in all honesty.
Yeah, like I say, if we can take those to the end and there's no more drama, mind you, it's been 4 laps and there's been a lot of drama. You know, I think we're due a safety car at some point here, but he's essentially got himself a bit of a free pit stop. Yes, he ends, but yeah, if he can behave himself and everyone else behaves himself, probably wasn't a bad shout.
So after that pit stop, Addix, I believe he was running in, it was either 3rd or 4th, and he is now down into 7th position. I am currently riding on board with Carl Wiedeberg, who is following behind the McLaren car of Lewis F1. As Flea is into the pits, yes, as he made contact with H. Bosworth and had quite significant damage to that Red Bull car.
This has been absolute carnage. Absolute carnage. Like, I mean, I was gutted when I seen Iggy facing backwards on the second DRS straight, and he's P5. Oh, he's lost. Stop talking! Stop talking! Stop. He could have big tank slapper in the exit of the second last corner. I need to stop commentating on. I'm too bad at this.
So currently riding on board with Carl Wiedeberg, going side by side, and Thibaut has already DNF, so he has left the session. But Carl Wiedeberg has made up one position on Lewis F1, but gave the position back.
I think very respectable, because it was a bit of a. I'm not sure if he did force him wide. It's a very hard place to overtake, but Lewis was forced to go off the track there. I think he's given the place back out of courtesy, so fair play to him. Credit to him, to be fair. I don't think many people would. 10-second penalty for corner cutting.
And it's interesting because Lee just got lapped, actually, by Lewis and Carl Wiedeberg. So Lee is already a lap down, and we're only on lap 5 of this race.
I don't get it, man. 10 seconds? That must have been a significant corner cut to get 10 seconds. Like, I don't even know where you would do that on this track.
Currently riding on board with Ricey Boy, making an overtake on H. Bosworth in the Alfa Romeo. Goes slightly deep into that turn, but doesn't come out too bad.
Oh, I'm looking at the front here. Lewis and Carl once again battling tooth and nail. Oh, and Lewis is running deep and going off the track. Oh, but Carl, oh, this is so hairy, man. Every time, I can't, man. I can't. Carl getting very out of shape coming out of turn 2. Probably something similar to what happened in the first lap, but managed to hold on to it. Got the move done on Lewis cleanly this time. And now he's going to set after Dark Stomper ahead, who's got himself not a comfortable lead. I'll call it comfortable. But Carl seems to be on a bit of a charge at the minute, so fight to watch. One to watch.
Yep. So I'm currently riding on board with Warren, who is in 7th place, has made up 9 positions from the start of this race. So very good drive so far by the reserve driver driving for the AlphaTauri team, just following behind Iggy, who is currently in 5th place.
Starting to wonder if there's damage to that Alfa Romeo that we can't see, you know, the added rear wing damage, etc. to the game this year. He's losing a lot of time to Matty ahead, and of course he's got that AlphaTauri breathing down his neck, which isn't helping the situation. But he said he wasn't confident around here, but I have a feeling there might be some minor damage, maybe floor damage or something to that car. Yeah,
it does look like there is like a slight bit of understeer when he's going into these turns, but choosing to carry on as it is right now. So it's going to be DRS4 Warren in the AlphaTauri. Probably will not be able to catch Iggy into turns 1 and 2, but it will be another dose of DRS for Warren. Does he have the speed to get Iggy into turn, I believe this would be 3? No.
Iggy's holding on for now. I'd say they're probably the closest battle on track at the moment. The field's rightly spread out from the earlier incident, so Warren probably going to bide his time to the next lap. He's a lot more battery than Iggy has at the moment, so can afford to use a bit to try and get that overtake done.
Ooh, Warren getting a little bit squirrely out of that miniature S turn, but seems to have the power down now, and that's actually making up. And
oh, he's got the corner cut warning though.
Yep. So 3-second time penalty for Warren for multiple track limit warnings. As we have yellow flags in sector 1. It was either an Aston Martin or a Mercedes, so
I think it was Ryan Van Dien, but I'm looking at his car and it's looking alright.
Intact.
Yeah, no doubt. This is going to become like a damage watching race, I think. Like, does he have damage? No. Does he have damage? No. I feel like that's been the highlight of the first 8 laps so far. Like I said, we don't normally race here, so a lot of people are going to get caught out. This is going to be a battle of attrition, I think. Especially that battle at the front, because Carl Wiedeberg hasn't lost time to Dark Stomper, but he's not gaining it either. It seems to be, if I'm keeping an eye on it, he's faster in the 3rd sector than him, but Brandon seems to be faster in most of the other sectors.
So I'm still riding on board with Warren and just can't seem to be able to get close enough to Iggy to be able to make a move. But it's also interesting. I'm wondering what it is that Addix is going to be able to do on these hard tires. How far will he be able to go into this race? Then will there be rain?
Yeah, because if he can take it right and far, he's in pretty good nick. I've been watching the time to Kingsholm. It hasn't really been coming down, the gap between him and Addix. It's been coming down a little bit, but nothing significant so far. I say that, and it's now starting to tumble. But Lewis is in.
Yep. So Lewis of the McLaren team is into the pits, and it's a medium set of tires for the McLaren driver as Ricey Boy gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. Iggy Combo also coming into the pits as well.
I think it's about time, to be fair. Those mediums should go to the end. I want to see actually and check if Iggy changes his front wing. I didn't see any damage, but I just have a feeling that something just wasn't right with that car. Pitting for the softs, interestingly.
Wow.
So we know he'll be stopping again. We're going to have to put the foot down to try and get as much as possible. Kingsholm pit as well. He's opted for another set of softs as well. There's maybe something going on that we don't know about. The rain could be on its way sooner than expected, and that's why we're seeing these soft tires.
Yep, so this will be interesting. How much time will Iggy be able to make up on Addix ahead of him? Addix is currently just over 15 seconds ahead of Iggy. We will keep an eye on that interval to see if Iggy will be able to make up some ground on Addix, as Taylor McKenzie gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings.
Penalties definitely could be a factor in this. I'm genuinely surprised there hasn't been a safety car so far. Carl Wiedeberg's dived into the pits. Genuinely surprised there hasn't been a safety car so far with the amount of people spinning and losing it on those curves. But a safety car right now would do a lot of people a lot of favours.
Yep.
Definitely would hinder the likes of, well, Lewis would lose out big time. Matty would love this. It'd be absolutely perfect for him. He started dead last, and he's managed to get himself up in the P2 at the minute.
Yep. So Warren is into the pits, coming out on a set of medium compound tires, as we have yellow flag sector 2. That may have been an Alfa Romeo. That might have been, I think, H. Bosworth is lapped by Dark Stomper.
Another car I've been watching. I think he might have some hidden damage that we can't see as well from that lap 1 incident, so it's going to be a bit of a marathon for him here.
He's currently riding on board with and Dark Stomper into the pits.
Matty decides to I just realised I thought it was Matty driving past. It was H. Bosworth.
Yep.
Matty's
in as well. So Dark Stomper onto a set of medium compound tires. We will see what it is that Matty G in the Williams car decides to pit onto, as Ryan Van Doom gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. Matty G is onto the soft compound tire.
I'm interested by these strategy calls. What does it mean for the weather? Because if you look at the sky, it's not too bad. Yellow. Oh, Ryan Van Doom's out. Is this the safety car?
Is this it? It is. A safety car has been called.
That's what I thought. This is going to be a big mix-up.
So let us see. Taylor McKenzie into the pits onto a set of soft tires. Kingsholm into the pits onto another set of soft tires. He was only on, I believe, 1 lap old softs. So that's an interesting call. But he's not losing any time, though, so... depends on where Boosted comes out. Does Boosted get ahead of Kingsholm? Yes. Nope, Ricey Boy's in the pits. So Kingsholm only lost 1 position, so... Not too bad.
No, Harry, no. Harry, no. Oh, he's going to have to serve himself a drive-through. He's not having the luck here. Not having the luck at all. This brings me back to Spain. Was it last week when he decided to pit for the wets?
Yeah.
It's been that sort of race for him. Fingers crossed, like I say, and he gets a bit of luck later in the race. But the first 11 laps are not going his way. He's now got himself a drive-through. So is King's home. What is going on? Hang on. Did I just see a load of things pop up there? Give me a second. I'll check the race director.
Yeah, I believe it was. Yeah, I saw King's home. Not sure if there was any more.
No, it's just King's home and Newt Bosworth have managed to get caught out there. I'm not sure what actually happened, but they've been caught out for speeding under the safety car, so that is going to inhibit them. Not what King's home needed either, not what Harry needed.
Addix is into the pits. Serving a penalty as well, so beneficial for him. Going on to the medium compound tire, Warren makes his way past Addix. So Addix will be coming out in 7th place with no penalties.
Good call, to be fair. He's only lost a couple of positions and he's, that 5-second penalty from earlier. Might as well get rid of it when he has the chance.
So now I'm board with Boosted, putting on a medium set of tires for the Mercedes driver. King's home into the pits. And he has retired.
Oh, he's retired? Race has not gone his way. Brandon will be rubbing his hands and thinking, only going to extend my lead now.
Yep.
Unless he crashes. Please don't crash, man. Please don't. That's
knock on something.
Can you hear that? Can you hear that?
So H. Bosworth, who just pit, coming out onto the track with a medium set of tires. Gonna have to, I guess, the safety car is gonna be out for most likely one more lap. But H. Bosworth has almost 3/4 of the track. Should be able to catch up to the back of the field, though.
I suppose if the retirement from Kingsham's only really done Nate Bosworth a favour. He's now only one position off the points at the minute, so every cloud has a silver lining.
Yep. So let's see. H. Bosworth is coming up to the penultimate turn of the circuit. Still has quite a ways to go to catch up to the back of the field, but not exactly sure how the delta times would work, but I'm assuming that he should be able to go full. Oh, and H. Bosworth!
He's not spun. Surely he's not spun. Forgive me, Cam, because there's a dog in the commentary box and it's going mental.
Oh, man.
Someone's a dog in the car. He's going absolutely mad at me.
Oh, man.
But yes, H. Bosworth has managed to spin at turn 1 and turn 2 as I try and pacify this dog. The safety car, I'm assuming it probably won't come in this lap now with H. Bosworth having to spin, but it'll give me time to pacify this lovely little dog.
Oh, man. So, yep, seems like it's going to be one more lap under safety car conditions. Will H. Bosworth, without any more spins, should be able to catch up to the back of the field before the safety car comes in. So I'll just look at the position changes that have taken place so far. Dark Stomper, who started in first, still in first place. Carl Wiedeberg, who started in third, is currently in second, and Lewis, who started in second, is currently in third position. Tierney Matty G, who started in last, is currently in fourth position, making up 12 positions so far. So very good drive by the Williams driver, who is a reserve for today. Iggy Combo, who started in 10th, currently in 5th position, doing well so far. And Warren, who started in 15th, served a quali ban for today's race, currently in 6th and is a reserve for the AlphaTauri team. Addix has only dropped one position, starting in 6th, currently in 7th. You have Taylor McKenzie, who started in 9th, currently in 8th. Ricey Boy, who started in 8th, currently in 9th. Boosted, who started in 13th, currently in 10th, as the safety car or race control has determined that the safety car will be coming in this lap. And H. Bosworth, who rounds out the remaining 11 drivers, started in 7th and currently in 11th place, and unfortunately also has to serve a drive-through penalty. So within the next 2 or 3 laps, we should be seeing H. Bosworth diving into the pits to serve that drive-through penalty, but we'll ride on board with Dark Stomper to see when he gets away to resume racing. And it looks like it is pedal down, and it looks like Dark Stomper is away. And Lewis F1 got a pretty good jump on Carl Wiedeberg, almost side by side between the McLaren and Williams driver.
Oh,
and they touched.
Oh, he manages to keep on track though.
Yep,
So thought that was going to be another one of those turn 1 incidents. Ken, I'm getting traumatised by them. But he managed to hold on. He's got a bit of work to do now to get back to the field. I mean, of course, we're still look at the sky. It's getting grey. There could still be rain in this race.
Currently riding on board with Taylor McKenzie, was quite close, and Addix is quite close to Taylor McKenzie. It looked like he was gonna make contact, but was able to brake just enough to be able to avoid contact with the Mercedes driver.
Another update actually on Taylor. So Taylor is one of the drivers who's been fighting an issue. He's had floor damage from that lap 1 incident, so he's doing very well to hold on to that P6 at the minute.
Oh, and there's a car. H. Bosworth is off.
This track and him are just not getting along at the moment at all. It's been one spin after the other at the minute. He's living up to his tractor name. He's been ploughing the gravel and ploughing the grass. I think he's never got damage as well, to be fair.
So currently riding on board with Taylor McKenzie, just made up a position on Warren to go into 5th place, and Addix is actually quite close to Warren as Warren is going through the grass, and that is an invitation for Addix to make up a position and go up into 6th. Now you have Lewis F1 and Warren going side by side. Who is going to come out on top? Oh my. So Lewis and Ricey Boy is also trying to make up a position on Warren. And contact between the AlphaTauri and Haas driver. Luckily, Ricey Boy is able to keep it on the circuit and stay in 9th place.
I cannot help but notice that the track has got so dark in the last lap or so. I have a bad feeling that the rain is going to come a lot earlier than we expected.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting. So we will keep an eye out to see when the first sight of raindrops do come.
If it even does come, to be fair. I mean, I'm totally speculating, but just that sky is painting a picture for me. to say the least. If there's one driver that is hyping me up at the minute, Iggy. Iggy is in P4, and I'm hoping he can hold on to. I want the Alfa Romeo guys to do well. They always seem to be. H. Bosworth or Iggy, one of them always does really well, and one of them always has a nightmare. If they can both, if they're both as consistent as I know they can be, I think they're in a shot for the title, for the constructors at least, anyway. But it always seems to be just the one. One of them will do brilliant. The race that H. Bosworth done, Iggy Combo retired. Iggy's podium, H. Bosworth had a mare. It's just, come on, guys, you're breaking my heart here.
So riding on board with the Ricey Boy, he has just, well, it's side by side between Ricey Boy and Warren, and Ricey Boy is going to maintain that 8th position that he has just taken off of Warren in the AlphaTauri, but Warren is fighting back and has taken back that 8th place position.
Yeah, I think it was some sneaky tactics there from the Haas. He braked just before the DRS line, and I think he wanted that DRS to try and hold on to his position, and it has actually worked. He's managed to get back through again, so credit to him for that one.
Oh, and then so Addix and Lewis are actually side by, and Lewis, I believe, just made up a position on Addix to go into 6th. Warren. Oh, Ricey Boy's into the pits.
Wondering, did he pick up some damage there? I see rain! I see rain!
I can't. Oh, yeah, I just saw some drops.
It's just started appearing. Bush has opted for the Inter straight away, so is right. Wow, okay.
Yep.
I mean, that's a bit of an early call in my book. Like, I've just seen the rain, so unless it has been raining for a couple of laps, like, there's a lot of drivers in the pits. I'm not sure. Okay, I don't know what's just happened there. I thought there was lots of cars in the pits in reality, but I think it was the Haas driving into a wall. I'm not sure. And like I say, unless that rain's been going for a couple of minutes and we haven't noticed, I don't know. It's coming down pretty heavy, to be fair.
Yeah. So this is going to be interesting. Yep. Yellow flags. Ricey Boys around. See, it may have been too early of a call for those intermediate tires.
I think so. Brandon's decided to go on. So has Carl. Matty does the same. Yep. Taylor's got the position on Iggy.
And he's in the pits.
No, this is one of those moments I was talking about. He's either going to be an absolute hero or look like a mug.
Yep. So let's see.
We're going to find out very shortly.
Yep, so intermediate tires for Taylor McKenzie of the Mercedes team. Now I'm riding on board with Lewis and Addix, as I'm not sure if an overtake just took place, but Addix did have the DRS on Lewis, so I might assume that Addix did make an overtake on Lewis to go into 5th.
Oh, I think it's still too early for the intermediates. I've just seen Taylor coming out of the pits. He's ran a little bit deep into turn 1. Like I said, this could gain him mountains of positions, or this could be an absolute nightmare for him.
Yep. It may be only if there is a safety car within the next maybe 2 to 3 laps, then it may be a bit of a benefit for some of these intermediate runners.
Chunks of time. It's still too early for those intermediates. He's losing. I think he's lost about 3 seconds in sector 1 alone. Still too early. Lewis, though, trying to get a move on Addix.
Yep, and just not able to make it happen.
If you can line it up perfectly, you might get it on the start-finish straight. But again, let's just have a look and see if anyone thinks about pitting. None of the guys at the front so far.
This is quite the beautiful sun shower, you know.
Yeah, it's just, it's what I call an Irish shower. It's like basically being spat on. No, we're not that bad. We're not that bad. But it's very, very. It looked quite heavy, and it doesn't look bad at all. Now I'm not seeing any water on that track so far. Mm-hmm. What I'm thinking though is it's gonna. What's happened in sector 3?
Taylor McKenzie. Yep.
Oh, those enters. What this might do, though, Ken, is actually bring H. Bosworth back into the fight. He's taking chunks of time off those inter-runners,
Yeah.
but he's ran a bit deep there. That's the Kane I keep talking about. And he's also looking potentially to be about to be lapped. I hope not, but he's taking chunks of time out of those inter-runners ahead. Boosted's coming into the pits. Is he going to go back onto the softs?
So currently we will see what it is Boosted does, actually.
It's mediums. Oh, serving a penalty. But I think it's mediums for the looks. It's slicks, it is mediums.
So he'll be coming out in 11th behind H. Bosworth. So, yep, H. Bosworth is back. After all of that, H. Bosworth is back in the points as TNE Matty G gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings.
Oh, I don't know, Cam. That rain looks a lot heavier. I'm just watching Iggy's on board. You can now see the rain bouncing off the track. It's got to be enter soon. Got to be enter soon.
Are there any drivers which drivers are still on the inters right now?
Taylor, Warren, and Ricey Boy. Is it Rice or Reese? I think it might be Reese. Reese. We'll go Reese. I think it's Reese. That's how you spell Reese and where I'm from, but we'll go Reese. He's on the end. Time is picking up slightly, but they're still losing time to those cars ahead. Taylor's lost the guts of 20, maybe 25 second statics.
Yep.
But it's not coming down at the same deficit it once was, to be fair. But I think I'm still opting for the slick tire at the minute.
So currently riding on board with Lewis, able to make up a position on Iggy Combo to go into 4th, but then cuts a corner and gets himself a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. Now I'm on board with Addicts, also looking to make a move on the Alfa Romeo driver of Iggy Combo, and yep, he is able to make that move and move up into 5th position.
Iggy's got to be hoping for those enters soon. He's on 12 lap old softs, and them tires are coming to the end of their life. Lewis is dived in.
Alex is dived in. Addicts.
And Iggy. Is it time?
Oh, and TNE Matty G, yup. Made contact with the wall. Is there any damage? Yup, left end plate. Yep. So there's going to be
this is going to throw a spanner in the works. 3 cars in the pit lane. Where are the inter runners? Taylor's nowhere near. This should not catch up. But those guys at the front 3, they're going to be so slow.
We have yellow flags in Sector 1. I'm not sure who that would have been. Oh, and there's a Haas that's... Look like Ricey Boy. I think it might be blue flag conditions for Ricey Boy.
Yeah, I think he's running. Yeah, he's just been taken by Dark Stomper, I think, or Carl. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen DRS be deactivated yet, so I don't know. Maybe I missed it. It's not. Well, it wouldn't be unlike me to miss things, but I just don't know. It looks like Lewis is clawing a lot of time down on Matty though. So although he's got that wing damage, I know that, but I don't know which tire is best to be on right now. I don't see Carl Wiedeberg staying out. So is Brandon.
Yep. So Matty G's gonna have to pit because he has damage. I'm assuming it's gonna be onto the intermediates for him.
He's got to go. Surely he'd go intermediates. It's a bit of an awkward call because I suppose technically the sauce might be better tire at the moment. Question is, where will he come out in relation to Lewis? Lewis has been tuning the time back a bit. Matty's got a wing change. This is going to be close in the pit exit, I think.
Yep, so I'll ride on board with Lewis to see where it is that he comes, or where it is that he is positioned.
Matty's at pit exit now.
So, yep, and Matty actually does come out ahead of Lewis.
I think the softs are still a little bit quicker because that time's still going up for Matty compared to Carl Wiedeberg. The track looks so wet though, I don't know how it can't be intertime. Matty's locking up, or Brandon's locking up a bit into the last sector. Wonder will he think about it now. But if he pits and Carl doesn't, oh, it's such a tough call.
Yep. So currently riding on board with Dark Stomper. What is he going to do? And he pulls left. Yep.
Carl
Wiedeberg is in.
And
DRS is disabled.
Okay.
Okay.
This could be a game changer. Okay, keep an eye on this one, folks. Keep an eye on this one. Carl is pit at the optimal time. He could not. He was in the pit lane whenever DRS is enabled. We know in this game that whenever it says that, the winters are technically the better tyre. Carl was about 4 seconds behind Matty, but Matty's got a whole lap to do in treacherous conditions. Can't he even keep it on the circuit? Oh, Matty's slow. Matty's very, very slow at the minute.
And Boosted is out. And H. Bosworth is into the wall.
Oh, he hasn't put either.
He's still on the softs.
Well, he's into the points. We'll say that. He's into the points. Iggy's made a move on Alex. I think Alex has managed to go around there as well. Doesn't look to have damage. I don't know. I'm fascinated about the front. Brandon is really slow into the corners. He needs to watch because he could actually end up giving himself a penalty if he's not careful. But Carl is chewing that time away.
Yep, so I'll ride on board with Dark Stomper, and I want to see if the Alpine driver who is currently leading the Drivers' Championship, is he going to pit on this lap? Going into the penultimate turn.
Sure, he has to. Yeah.
Yep.
But I think Carl's jumped them. Carl's a lot closer than any of the other drivers have been before. It's about a 24-second pit lane, and Carl's currently 22 seconds behind him. It's gonna be close at the pit exit again.
So I will keep an eye on Carl Wiedeberg.
Brandon's on his way down the exit of the pit lane, but Carl's in the start finish straight.
Oh, this is gonna be close. And Carl Wiedeberg's got him. Carl Wiedeberg moves himself into first place after Dark Stomper pit and is having a bit of difficulty coming out onto these inter tires. Now I'm riding on board with Addix, who has just made an overtake on Iggy Kumbo to go into 5th position.
A couple of battles going to be going on track here. Can Brandon claw back that 2.6 second gap before the end of the race? He's only got 4 or 5 laps to do it. Lewis is right in the back of TNE Matty now. He's going to have to try and get round him as well. Alex and Iggy are going at it. Yeah, this is going to be a close one.
Currently riding on board with Lewis F1, and this battle for 3rd position is for outright 3rd, as they both have 3-second time penalties. So we will see if TNE Matty G will be able to hold on to that 3rd place position, or if Lewis F1 will be able to catch him.
It's a bit of a madness towards the end of the Grand Prix. We thought it was going to be, and it looks like we were right.
Yep.
Brandon isn't currently clawing any time back to Carl ahead. Just looking on the exit of this corner, he's actually losing time at the minute. If Carl can behave himself, it looks like he's got himself another race win.
Yeah, it seems there's a bit more of a struggle for Dark Stomper in comparison to Carl Wiedeberg in these intermediate conditions.
Yeah, I'm just looking actually. Lewis was right on the gearbox of Matty there, but I think he had a bit of a moment in the second to last corner. Haven't even looked at the penalties, to be fair. Both have 3. Warren's got 15. God love him. I don't know. I don't know who he
Ricey boy's out.
He's lost it. Is it VSC? Is it going to go full? Is it going to go full?
Where has he lost it? Yeah, there are some cars that are coming through.
Where has he lost it?
On the left side of the track there.
Ah, there he is. He's got caught out, probably by the curves. I'd say I'm very surprised that hasn't gone full safety car, to be fair. But a lot of VSCs this race. full safety car would really shake this up. There's a lot of penalties in play.
Yeah.
It would do drivers like Taylor Mackenzie and Warren a favour. Interesting to see that Warren's actually in the pits putting on fresh enters. Because he may as well, he's not going to lose any time. Or not lose any positions.
So we're currently on lap 26 of this 29-lap race, and it is Carl Wiedeberg of the Williams team who is currently in first place with only 3 laps to go. Dark Stomper, the drivers' championship leader, currently in second place, and TNE Matty G as VSC conditions have ended and we're back racing. TNE Matty G, who is reserving for the Williams team, currently in third.
It'll be a 1-3 for Williams, and if I remember right, Williams are one of those teams I talked about earlier. They're in that tight-knit battle. Yeah, Williams 103 points. Ferraris are gone.
Yep.
The Red Bulls are gone. McLaren need a good result here, and Lewis is the only one left in the race.
Yep, and then also points for both Alfa Romeo drivers as well.
So Alfa Romeo should jump up. Yeah, they could jump. Let me see. Iggy's on 8 points as it stands. A 10-point jump would put them ahead of both Ferrari and Red Bull at the minute if it finishes as it stands, which is a good result for them.
Yep. So currently riding on board with Lewis F1. Still this battle for third place. Ooh, and a bit of a moment. Almost lost it. Was Lewis F1.
It was a bit of a hairy one. But like I say, he was right in the gearbox of Matty. Only 2 laps to go, but a couple of mistakes have dropped him off. If he wants to get him, he's going to have to get a move on.
Yep, so it is a 1.5 seconds that TNE Matty G has on Lewis F1. We have 2 laps remaining as Carl Wiedeberg is just going around turn 3, and Dark Stomper is actually making up a bit of ground on Carl Wiedeberg.
I've just been watching that. He's actually clawing time back quite considerably at the minute. He's got 1 and a bit laps to do it. It'll be a big ask, but he's definitely got the pace to do it. He just, like I say, same as Lewis, needs to get a move on. He's clawed about 4 tenths back in that first sector alone. Carl just trying to bring that car home nice and safe. Dark Stomper with absolutely nothing to lose here. He's already clawed. He's already kind of got considerable lead in the championship. He might as well send it.
Yep, so I'm riding on board with Dark Stomper. We will see if he will be able to catch Carl Wiedeberg, as we have about a lap and a third left of this Australian Grand Prix.
Time at the top still coming down. Lewis hasn't made any time on Matty. I think he's lost a bit of the consistency, or Matty's found a bit of it. Taylor Mackenzie with 3-second time penalty, but I don't think it's going to affect him. Nah. Question is, can Brandon overtake Dark Stomper? He's really going to have to try and get it done before the... I think I said earlier, it's the third DRS straight. And the back is really his only chance to get that overtake done, but he gained so much time in this sector last time. See if he can do it again.
Yep, so Carl Wiedeberg has a 1.5 second lead on Dark Stomper. We will see. We have about half a lap, just over half a lap remaining. What can Dark Stomper do in that Alpine car? And clawing back.
Oh, and he's run deep.
Yep, and that may be the telling moment for Dark Stomper.
I think he was trying to rush it a little bit. Now I say he had to rush it a little bit, but he's just on full send mode now. Like I say, I think if he had 2 more laps, he could have had a go at it. But I think he just that staying out call is what essentially cost him the race. Is Brandon's getting a bit hairy. I thought he was going to hit the wall. That would have been drama. That would have been a lot of drama. Lewis, though, right in the gearbox of Matty again.
Yep, so riding on board with Carl Wiedeberg as he gets to the finish line, and it is first for the Williams driver, second for Dark Stomper. TNE Matty G will ride on. Oh, it's actually TNE Matty G and Lewis. As long as TNE Matty G keeps it relatively simple, he should be able to have that third place. And yep. So it will be third place for the reserve driver of TNE Matty G for the Williams team. Lewis F1 of the McLaren team finishes in fourth place, riding on board with Addix. Coming to the line, finishes in fifth, followed by Iggy Combo of the Alfa Romeo team.
Able to be happy with that.
Started in 10th, finishing in 6th.
No, I think they can be happy with that. Like I say, they've gained a lot of points on. Well, they've overtaken two teams, and they've kept themselves kind of comfortably within that constructors' title fight. Like I say, I think both won't mind me saying it's not one of the strongest tracks, and they both come home with points today. I think they'll be happy with that. More in the last car. Where is he? There he is. He's coming down the last few corners now.
Yep.
The reserve driver for the AlphaTauri.
Not a bad performance by him. Only his second race of the season as a reserve, so not too bad for him. But there you have it. It is Carl Wiedeberg of the Williams team who wins this Australian Grand Prix, and it is, and quite fitting, TNE Matty G gets the driver of the day as determined by the game.
Yeah, I think that's not a bad shout, to be fair. Carl done an amazing drive today. Warren did a great drive. Matty done a fantastic run, starting from the back of the grid and ending up, as you can see on the screen, on that podium. So credit to them.
Yep. So I'll go through the finishing order. It is Carl Wiedeberg of the Williams team finishing in first, Dark Stomper in second, TNE Matty G in third, Lewis F1 in fourth, Addix in fifth, Iggy Combo in sixth, Taylor McKenzie in seventh, Warren in eighth, H. Bosworth in ninth, and Rice, this will be the start of the DNF, so it is Ricey Boy of the Haas team in 10th, Boosted in 11th, Kingsholm in 12th, Ryan Van Doom in 13th, Flea in 14th, BKS in 15th, and Thibaut Boy in 16th.
Just got one more final update. H. Bosworth did that whole race with a damaged rear wing, damaged side pod, and damaged underbody. So he can definitely be happy that he finished B9.
Yep. That is impressive. And that just goes to show you, even with all of that damage, sometimes it's just not worth it to retire, even if things aren't going well in the race. Anything can happen.
You got to stick it in. Safety car. It only takes one safety car, and it's you're right back in it. Matty crashed out in qualifying, and he's on the podium. What? Yeah. What a drive! But yeah, absolutely brilliant race. Nice to see Australia, to be fair, on the calendar. It's been nice somewhere different, and it was definitely interesting.
Yep. All right, everyone, so that is our coverage of Limitless Formula Racing for today, the Tuesday Limitless 2 edition. We would like to thank you for tuning into this stream. Make sure that you like this video, and if you have not subscribed to the channel already, make sure that you do that as well. And I will just go to the calendar quickly to see where the Thursday Formula 4 race will be
France,
taken.
I have in my head, but I could be wrong.
It's actually Imola.
Oh, it's Imola? Oh, sweet. I'll like Imola. I'll take Imola. That's fine.
Oh yeah, you will be racing.
Yeah, well, come watch me. I'm a big fan. Woo! Yeah, so we'll be at Imola. I believe it's the reverse grid at Imola as well. So,
Yeah.
obviously a very difficult track to overtake. So, I'll be expecting carnage.
All right, so there you have it. That is our coverage for Limitless Formula Racing. We would like to thank you for tuning in. For myself, as well as Mr. Big Weir, we would like to say take care.
Have a nice Christmas, everyone.